Good evening everyone and welcome to TTL F2. We are here for Season 6, Round 5 here at Austria. What a great circuit this is. Of course we are in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. And I, of course, am a very familiar face around here. As always, I'm James here, going to be taking you through the action here on TTL F2. Now, I'm just on the search for my track map at the minute. I have lost my track map, which is not the greatest thing to start off the stream with. So do bear with me while I try and find my track map. I have got some more. I have got one somewhere of the Austrian track. I'm just trying to find it. But in the meantime, I can take you through, as I've found my track map, I can take you through the standings from last time and what happened last week, of course, in TTL F2. Of course, we were in Canada last week, and it was Honey Badger who took the win in the feature race for the Grand Prix team. Siege second and Vikmil third in the feature race. The sprint race taken by VRT Venom for his first win in TTL F2. Vikmil second and Siege in third. We've had 4 different winners of races this season. We've had Ventink win 2 sprint races. Honey has won 4 races in total, 3 feature and 1 sprint. Spike and Venom, the only 2 to add on to that list. 1 feature race for Spike and 1 sprint race for Venom. Really interesting stats if you are a stat geek like me. Honey Badger then leads the championship on 129 points, from Siege in second on 102, with Venom in third on 90, with Sean in fourth on 73, and rounding off the top 5 is Vikmil on 58 points. Spike in 6th on 49, with Maze in 7th on 31. Maximus is in 8th on 19, with Renfara in 9th on 15. Conti in 10th on 14. We've got Matter in 11th on 12. Drez in 12th on 8, and Spike in 13th on 4. Drivers that haven't scored points this season so far are S-Graham and Charlie. Asdog also on the list, but I don't think he's attended the last 3 weeks, which is a bit of a shame really. If you can actually be bothered to turn up, that'll be fantastic. But of course, people do have things on. There are 4 free seats, I should say, within TTL F2. So if anybody does want to join up, we've got an Arden seat available. We've got a Univertosi, a Trident, and the Sauber Junior by Charoux team car, all available. So if you want to be inspired by the drivers out on track, then TTL F2 is the place to come. Grand Prix lead the way in the Constructors on 143, with Dams in second on 133. BWT Arden in third on 118, so quite close there between the top 3 teams. 25 points separating the top 3. MP Motorsport in 4th on 90, with Campos in 5th on 85. Univertosi in 6th on 49. Carlin in 7th on 23. Sauber Junior in 8th on 15, and Prima in 9th on 8. Trident, Charlie representing Trident here tonight, they are on the Fable nil point. But if everyone, if there's only 10 drivers here tonight, we might be expecting a couple more to join. But if there's only 10 drivers here tonight, everyone is bagged for points. S-Graham will be picking up his first point of the season, as well as Charlie at this point, at this moment in time. Of course, we are here at Spielberg. There are 3 DRS zones on the track. 3 DRS zones, of course. One down the start-finish straight between turn 10 and turn 1. One up the hill towards the hairpin at turn 3. That little kink on the straight does count as a corner. And also one down the hill towards turn 4. So, pretty much within the opening half of the lap, I would say, there are 3 DRS zones out on track. One-shot qualifying, 2 50% races. Of course, we've got the feature race up first and then the sprint race up second, as we've got another driver joining out of our team. Matter there joining in the Campos car, of course representing Campos alongside Sean this season. Hopefully everyone is doing well in the comment section. I'm going to tune into the comment section now and see how you guys are doing on this Tuesday night. Good evening to Sean, who has tuned in. There's nobody viewing the stream. Goodness me. Come on, guys. Get your act together. But, of course, we are here for TTL F2, and I've honestly got to say, I was commentating on League of Europe last night. A very strange thing for me to do on a Friday, and the F2 racing is always going to be fantastic, no matter what happens and no matter in what league. TTL, of course, being a prime example of that. But I was commentating on League of Europe, and the driving there really similar to the levels that we experience in TTL F2. That means that it is very good racing, and you should expect that from these guys out on track tonight. 11 drivers it seems. We are ready to start. Mays and Conti have given the go-ahead to get us underway, so we should be starting up in just a couple of seconds time. The 30-second countdown will come up on the top right hand side of your screen. We do have a new commentator joining us, by the way, within TTTV. I will introduce him hopefully over the course of the next couple of weeks or so, but he has been added into the chat on Twitter, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, I will let you know. I'm not going to spoil the surprise yet. Once it's been announced, though, I will let you guys know. He's a very good friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to sharing the ropes with him and hopefully teach him a few things along the way as well. 11 drivers then going to do battle around the circuit here at Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring, of course. 15 seconds until we get underway. Who are your favourite drivers out on track? Who are you showing support for in the comment section? Do of course let us know here at TTL F2. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, well, welcome to my world. Welcome to TTL F2, and welcome to TTTV as well if you are just tuning in. Then Red Bull Ring. The hills are alive with the sound of the Formula 2 cars going around out on track. Even McGinley will be frowning now right there if he's watching. He'll probably be thinking, James, why on earth have you done that? But, of course, it should be great racing out on track, as I say. And thank you, by the way, to the new subscribers that have subscribed to the TTTV channel as well. I think we won 368 the last time I looked. It's gone up to 370, which is fantastic. So thank you to the 2 new subscribers. And of course, if you are tuning in for the first time, why don't you give us a like, comment, subscribe, and tick that notification bell while you're along the way as well. So then, reminder, coming into tonight's session here in Austria, that the championship standings is as follows. Honey on 129, Siege on 102, and Venom on 90 points. They are the top 3. They should be the ones that you look out for here tonight. Of course, drivers are coming about themselves towards the midpoint of the season. I think we are at the midpoint of the season here for round 5, and we will be going through races 9 and 10 if you count it fully. But who are we going to go on board with on a lap here around Austria? We'll soon find out. It is VRT Venom who we are going aboard with. And we can have a look at the track map as well as it comes down now towards turn 1. Through Lauder Corner at turn 1. Looking very nice there. Maximus, I think, has just picked up an invalidation further down. But Honey Badger leads us up the hill towards turn 2. Taking the right-hand side line, get you onto the inside. It does save you a little bit of ground. And it's an 18.3 through the first sector for Venom. The last time we came here, of course, in TTL F2 was back in Season 4, back when there was only one feature race lasting 100%, which was 40 laps back in the day. Venom now coming down towards turn 4, though, in the meantime. The Scotsman, just in behind the championship leader, currently on the left-hand side of your screen, comes through turn 4. Taking us very nicely indeed. I'm just going to turn off my TV because it is a little bit low. Super softs then for all the drivers out on track. Venom then coming through turn 6 and then through turn 7 and 8. This is a very tricky corner to get through. It's a 51.4 through the middle sector for the Scotsman. And he's looking very good in the MP Motorsport at the minute. The Arc-One Prix, of course, of Honey Badger currently leading the way. Siege and the Dams in third as well as he comes through turn 9 now. Down the hill towards turn 10. Get caught on the sausage curb, but will fling you wide. No problem there for VRT Venom. Honey Badger, I think, is going to come across the line in front. He will, and he comes across quite comfortably out in front. Everyone has got round on a lap. No invalidation from anyone out on the track. It is Venom who goes second behind Honey Badger, who takes it by about 4/10 of a second. Let me run you down then the full grid order from qualifying. It is Honey Badger who has taken the qualifying and the pole spot out on track, 3.5 tenths ahead of Venom in second. Siege in third with Sean in fourth. Honey Badger's teammate Conti in 5th, less than a second off, with Maximus in 6th, Vic Mill in 7th, Charlie, good qualifying from him, in 8th, Mays in 9th, ILRT Matter in 10th, and S. Graham in 11th position, and that is literally the running down of the order done in the quick blinking of an eye right there. Of course, I'm going to put my money, to be honest, on some of the guys near the top end of the field. Remember, if you are tuning in for the first time here to TTL F2, we do have the sprint race to come after this, which is reversed top 8 to where you will see in the first race. I don't know how many laps we do get around here. I'm imagining... Oh, and it's raining. It is raining out on track with the umbrella in the wall there on the left-hand side of your screen. Just have a look to your top left of the screen right now. You'll see a brolly that is actually stuck within the wall. GG, Code Bosses. GG indeed. But full wet tyres then for the drivers out on track. The countdown has started out on track, and this is going to be quite interesting. I think it's our second wet race of the season, behind Spain, I think it was, or Canada last time out. One of the two anyways. That was coming up, of course. I'll have a look and see how you guys are doing in the comment section as we come through tonight. Still no comment. If you do want to tune in, though, and do want to comment anything, and I mean literally anything, of course, keep it clean within the comment section. The rain not coming down that heavily out on track, if I've got to be honest. But 20 laps await the drivers here out on track, which means the sprint race, I think, should be around 12 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Honey Badger, then, with the brollies up here in Spielberg, getting us underway on the formation lap. Of course, no need to go through the strategies. Everyone on a wet compound of tyre. And remember, there's no intermediates here in TTL F2. The drivers don't necessarily have to pit, do not have to make that mandatory pit stop with it being wet conditions. By the way, I can announce, by the way, that there is a new commentator going to be joining us in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine, on TTTV. Welcome to Aidan Carter, i.e. Car Mentalist, who is joining the TTG commentating team. Thrilled to have him on board, a real asset, I think, going forward. He has been commentating on leagues like FOL F3 of note, and I'm sure he's going to be brought along. He's going to be essentially, yeah, just imagine him as my little sidekick who's going to be alongside me. I'm going to teach him the ropes, essentially. But, of course, welcome to Aidan, who is going to be joining us in the commentary team. We should be seeing him on TTTV within the next couple of weeks. So I can exclusively announce that to TTL F2. You guys will get to know first. Honey Badger then coming around the formation lap. I'm going to go and weirdly go for top 3 for a feature race, which is what I never do. I'm going to go for Honey Badger for the win. I don't see anybody really getting close to him in these conditions. I think Honey Badger will go for the win. For second, I'm going to go for Venom. And for third, I'm going to go for Vicmill. I think Vicmill might have a good time of things tonight in the BWT Arden. He impressed in Canada last time out. We've got the final couple of cars now joining on to the grid. A beautiful run down towards turn 1. Of course, this Grand Prix sponsored by My World, the Grosser Preis von Österreich. I've mispronounced that completely. That is how fluent I am at Austrian. But we're going to get going for 5 red lights here in Austria for the feature race. 20 laps away at the drivers. Light down, away we go. Venom gets a good start from the line. He's going to try and cut across into the toe of Honey Badger. Bit of a shocking start further down from Conti as Venom gets all caught up through towards turn 1 they go. Honey Badger leads the way and he's got about a second over. Sean getting flung off the corner. It's very, very difficult in these conditions. Everyone's managed to get through quite safely, which is good to see. Sean and Conti then running side by side, and it's 3 wide in the background. Maze, Matter and Charlie. Oh, and Maze has gone off onto the camber of the corner, I think, there, and has actually spun the car on the wet patch through that camber of the corner. He's lost his right side end plate, I do believe. Sean and Maximus, though, in the meantime, are having a battle, and Sean has actually got the move done. Matter sails through as well, so Matter through up to 6th. Conti trying to get the move done in mid-division. Oh, and he's gone into the back of Maximus. Not really healthy to see. Conti's gone into the back of Maximus, of course. these drivers have got to be careful out on track. Charlie has gone through on Sean in the meantime, who's lost a couple of positions, but Honey Badger leads the way by 1.4 seconds out in front. Venom, with that slightly sketchy start, is in second, with Siege in third. You can really see how Venom is fighting the car. I think this might be his third race in the wet conditions here in TTL F2, or second race for sure. He did struggle last time out, I do believe. There was a yellow flag in sector 3. I can only imagine that is Charlie, who has spun round. Honey Badger, though, coming across the line to start lap 2, and he's out in front by 1.5 seconds. Venom in second, Siege in third, Vic Mill is in fourth, Matter fifth, with Sean in sixth, Conti seventh. S. Graham getting through a Maximus down the inside of the final corner there. He's into P8, Maze is into the pits after that front wing damage, Maximus in P9 and Charlie in P10. Maze, as a result of that front wing damage, into the pits. Think again, as I say, it was his right side end plate coming through the camber of the corner. I don't think there was any contact. The Siege has to back out of that very late indeed. Vic Mill has made good progress through the field, and he sails past him with Siege running wide. So the Dams car down to fourth, Vic Mill then up into third. The drivers, of course, have to prioritise their running. It is not dry conditions at all. Of course, you can see the rain is falling out on track, and trust me, it is difficult for these cars to actually get the traction off the corners. Let's have a look then at some of the position changes that have happened on the first lap. Sean and Matter have just changed around, and Matter in fact has lost another position. I think we might have been out wide nearly into the grass there. Matter has been overtaken by Conti, so Conti through to P6, Matter down to P7. 4 position gains for Vic Mill, and currently my top 3 is on the cards. Come on, keep it up. Matter and Conti, though, coming down towards the final corner. I don't think Matter is going to go for this at all. Yeah, Matter backs off at the late stage. Conti hanging on to P6. And that other Arc Grand Prix, of course. Arc Grand Prix leading the way from Dams in the Constructors. And speaking of Dams, Maximus has actually gone off track there in the Carling. Oh, damn, he went wide through the final corner. And Charlie is in P8. Maximus just running wide, and I think locking up onto the AstroTurf there on the outside of the corner is down into P9. S. Graham P10, Maximus Maze, out of the pits, right at the back of the field. We're right on board though with Conti and Matter, 6th and 7th currently out on track. They've got to make sure that they get their braking points correct up towards turn 3 at the hairpin. Conti runs wide. This is Matter's opportunity to get the move done. We can see how he fights the car. Doesn't want to apply the power straight away. It's almost as if you've got to feather the car through the throttle, through the corners, and especially in these conditions, these guys out on track will be struggling like hell on earth, as Conti probably goes wide as soon as I say that. Matter is through and he's up to P6. Conti running wide. A little difficult for these guys out on track. Of course, some of the guys might have practiced in the wet. Some of the guys, probably most of the guys I would say, probably practice in the dry, as Vic Mill is all out of shape there. Siege right on the back of him. And Vic Mill now under pressure from the Brit. Siege, that's Venom running wide slightly through the final couple of corners. The rain beginning to get slightly heavier out on track. Honey Badger leads the way then with 3 seconds of the gap from Venom in second. Vic Mill is in third. Siege is in fourth. You can have a look at your favourite drivers, by the way, on the right hand side of your screen with the new track map that is added, debuting here in TTL F2 tonight. Vic Mill will hang on to Siege running up the hill, I think. Yeah, he pulls away by about 5/10 of a second. No DRS enabled, of course. Siege then coming up the hill towards turn 3 once again, through the kink of turn 2, then through turn 3. And Vic Mill taking a much deeper line through there. You want to be trying to get wide out and then deep into the corner, if I've got to be honest. Siege just losing the time now to Vic Mill, who is in third. But Honey Badger leads the way on lap 4, about halfway through lap 4. Venom in second, Vic Mill is in third, with Siege in fourth. Sean in fifth, with Matter in 6th, Conti in 7th, Charlie in 8th, Maximus in 9th, S. Graham is in 10th, and Maze is in 11th. I think S. Graham might have made a mistake somewhere out on track. He has dropped off Maximus quite a lot. Siege though in the meantime, right on the back of Vic Mill. So the BWT Arden against the Dams. Of course, these guys are 2nd and 3rd respectively in the Constructors. Dams represented, of course, by Siege and Maze. Vic Mill, the only BWT Arden driver on the grid this season in TTL F2. Of course, there is one more space available in TTL F2. Victor then about to come across the line to start lap 5 as Honey Badger sets the new fastest lap of the race with a 26 flat. As you can see on the right hand side of your screen, top right there, there's a 27 flat from Siege. He's about a second off the pace, and if that's true, he's going to be losing more time as the race goes on. We are about a quarter's distance in the feature race, and it's Honey Badger who leads the way from Venom in second, Vic Miller's in third, Siege is in fourth, Sean in fifth, Matt is sixth, Conti 7th, Charlie in 8th, Maximus in 9th, S. Graham in 10th and Maze in 11th, who is beginning to reel in that gap to S. Graham ahead. Ryan Bolt though with the battle for third at this stage, 7/10 separating Vic Mill and Siege out on track. They've got to do it the old-fashioned way, of course, here out on track tonight. Honey Badger still leads the way by 3.8 seconds. Siege then on the back of Vic Mill. Is he going to try and possibly get a move done, I wonder? The Dams car against the BWT Arden. This is looking good so far out on track for the Dams car. He is beginning to just edge into that gap slightly, but relatively staying stable between the third and the fourth driver. Of course, it is Vic Mill and Siege being third and fourth. Honey Badger is 3.6 seconds clear. Siege then on the run up towards turn 9 is beginning to catch. And he is getting closer. He's 2.5 tenths off him coming through turn 9. Not getting the run out properly out of turn 9, but Vic Mill getting the run out of turn 10 and puts more power down. And in fact, Siege running wide slightly there with Siege, and Vic Mill now getting the time back once again. On to lap 6 out of 20. I will be back in the blinking of an eye. I'll be back in about a minute. Vic Mill now under pressure from Siege. Siege getting a much better exit out of turn 3. Vic Mill lagging back slightly. Siege now down into turn 4. Vic Mill hanging off the camber of the corner. Siege is... Maximus is actually into the pits, maybe for a set of wet compound of tyres. In fact, the rain has stopped, I think, out on track. Yes, the rain has stopped out on track. So maybe we'll see the track beginning to dry. Maximus is into the pits. He goes on to a set of soft compound of tyres. So he feels the track is not necessarily going to be that wet, but you can see, it might be to the naked eye, but you can see the spray actually being picked off the track, which essentially means that these guys are going to be staying out on the wet compound of tyres. Honey Badger Venom struggling through the final corner, pits in. Vic Mill and Siege continue, and I think that's the best strategy. Vic Mill gets caught on the sausage curb. This is Siege's move to lose, and Siege is through on Vic Mill. A costly mistake for Vic Mill out on track. And it is Siege that is taking second position in the Dams. So that is quite noticeable as well for the BWT Arden team as well, because they could be losing out now on second place in the Constructors, even at this relatively still early stage of the season. Honey Badger then leads the way, 7.4 seconds. Venom coming out on a sort of soft compound tyre, as is Sean. Sean has also come into the pits, going to pit for dries. Definitely looks like the track beginning to get a lot drier. You can still see though the spray being kicked off a part of the track. Definitely drying out. I would say it's maybe a lap or two away from being soft conditions. If you see anybody spinning a set of softs, then you will know you are on the wrong tyre. S. Graham and Maze though into the pits as well. They'll be going on to a set of softs. There's not really much I can commentate on at this stage. It's Honey Badger though who leads by 7.7 seconds. Are we going to see the leader come into the pits? I imagine we will, but he is gaining time on Maximus, who is a lap car ahead. Yeah, Honey Badger into the pits, takes the white line very nicely indeed into the pit lane. Siege and Vic Mill then should be coming in. I still think it's an extra lap. Yeah, Siege risks it for an extra lap. Vic Mill is into the pits. LRT, Matta, Conti and Charlie still yet to come into the pits as well. The fight's in the cars, but look, the spray is still being kicked off out on track, and LRT Matter definitely going to be coming into the pitch. You can see the deeper line he's taking into the final couple of corners. Conti will be coming in as well. Is Charlie going to come in, I wonder? Yeah, Charlie's going to be coming in as well. So Siege only going out on one extra lap might be not a bad strategy at all, to be honest, I think. Siege hopefully not listening to me in the comment section on the stream. but he leads by 17.8 seconds out on track from Honey Badger, sorry, in second. Siege was second, then goodness me. Venom then is going to be coming out maybe ahead of Vicmill. In fact, Vicmill has jumped Venom in the pit stop, so pitting that lap later has worked for Vic Mills. He's done the overcut and he's got ahead of VRT Venom. Siege then is still out on us at wet compound of tyres. Of course, you can see ghosting system is in operation. Miz can continue on with his race. He is going to get out of the way though on the left hand side of your track, on the left hand side of your screen there. Siege still going around out in front. Spray still being kicked off the tyres here for Siege, and it's 19.1 seconds, and that gap is extending out. Siege, I think, maybe staying out an extra lap. Let's see if he comes into the pits. He's not. Siege is going to continue on for another lap. It could be costly, but I've got to be honest, there's still spray being kicked up on track. I think it'll be next lap, if I've got to be honest, for the wet compound of tyres. Siege could be leading himself towards a possible win here tonight in Austria. Matter and Sean changing positions through turn 4, and Maximus has gone through an S. Graham. They're side by side, running up the hill towards turn 3. S. Graham on the right hand side of your screen in the Prima. Maximus going around the outside on the Carlin, and it's job done for Maximus. He's got the move done, and he easily disposes of S. Graham. In the meantime, Sean taking a bit of a travel off into the gravel there. Siege is still going round and out on track. He's through turn 3 safely, and he's 19.6 seconds ahead. He is still, I repeat, still gaining time out in front. 19.6 seconds the gap, and then he just made his first mistake there out on track. This might be the time to come into the pits. It's 19.9 seconds now, the gap between Siege and Honey Badger. It's actually just gone out to 20. So Siege carrying on at a bit of a pace here. I think he's going to be coming out in at least second position. Oh, and that is Maximus, I think, off into the gravel. It is. Maximus is off into the gravel, spinning on the set of soft compound of tyre. Honey Badger then, 19.6. Perfect for Siege, because he's going to be coming into the pits. DRS now enabled out on track. We are halfway through here, pretty much in TTL F2, and Siege, the leader, is into the pits in the Dam's car, and he takes it nice and steadily into the pit. That is exactly what you want to be doing. If Siege has managed to listen to me in the comment section and on the stream, then you will know he has done an absolutely fantastic strategy. Honey Badger then is coming around the final corner. You can see this from the track map. We'll have a look at this and focus on these drivers. Of course, only 6-man crew can work on the car. It's about a 5-6 second pit stop, and Siege is going to be coming out the pits easily, I think, ahead of Vicmill. He's already towards the end of the pit. Then there is Vicmill just right in the background of shot there, and Siege is going to be coming across the line, and he's going to be coming out ahead of Vicmill by around a second and a half, I would say. Siege out ahead of Vicmill by just under a second and a half, so not too bad there. Now he can put the hammer down. Now he can get to the end of the race as well. Some of the guys that's pitted early will have to manage their tyres quite comprehensively, I think, out on track. Honey Badger then leads. We are halfway through here in TTL F2, and if you're just tuning in, you honestly really haven't missed much. Honey Badger leads the way from Siege in second. Vicmill now in third, with Venom in fourth. Matter in fifth, with Sean in 6th, so the two Campbells running 5th and 6th. Conti is in 7th, Charlie in 8th, Escrima in 9th, Mays in 10th, and Maximus, who spun out into the gravel that lap around. It almost looks like he's got softs and wets on at the same time. That is not what you like to see. Get it fixed. He's on a set of soft compound of tyres, just to, if anybody is wondering, he is on a set of soft compound of tyre. You can see it through the tyre graphic on the left hand side of your screen. Honey Badger then will lead the way, coming across the line onto lap 11. Let's focus then on the battle for second though, between Siege and Vicmill at this stage. A Dam's car against a BWT Arden, and I've got to be honest, these guys out on track are really going great guns. Honey Badger leads 8.6 seconds, as I say, from Siege in second. Vicmill is in third. There's not really much happening out on track. I'm going to take a brief break from commentary, and I'll be back in about a minute. Siege then still 1.2 seconds ahead of Vicmill at this stage. However, battle beginning to develop further down the field, and it is, I'm sad to say, as much as I'm wanting not to say this, it is for the wooden spoon. Maze and Maximus out on track for 10th and 11th. This is for the final point out on track as well. Maximus having a lot more speed there than Maze. Coming to the final corner now. Of course, DRS will be enabled. You can see Maximus within that second range. He is going to be closing in on him. He takes the new fastest lap of the race. I don't think he's going to get the move done on him, however, down towards turn 1. Maze nicely through the corner. Honey Badger leads the way then. It's a 21.9. The track getting quicker and quicker out on track. And now Maximus sizing up the opportunity here on the Dam's car of Maze. Maximus looks like he's down the inside line. He'll try and cover him off at all costs. Maze then will try switch back around the inside, but not good enough. Maximus is through quite easily indeed. He's up into that final point scoring position. The two Campos now fighting out on track, as my voice goes pretty high pitch there. Matt and Sean out on track, 5th and 6th, the LRT driver against the TTG driver. Oh, have we not seen this before? Not between these two, but Matt and Sean about to battle it out. Two Campos teammates. Are they going to be teammates? By God, I don't think they will be. Sean is going to get through on Matter. Matter will just come into the slipstream. Thought he would have given a little bit more fight there actually, but Sean is through and he's up into 5th position. Matter into 6th. So actually, Sean on a lap all the tyres than Matter getting past him, his teammate, and he's up into 5th position. Maximus trying to close in on S. Graham as well. The gap between 2nd and 3rd has stabilised. It's 1.6 seconds, and Siege's fresher tyres now beginning to come into play as he just tries to edge out that gap slightly. However, 9 seconds between himself and Honey Badger at this stage, as Vic Mill has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think that was on the exit of turn 9 out on track. He's now coming across the line with Siege setting the new fastest lap of the race. It's a 20.9 out on track. The track is getting quicker and quicker as a result of the drying conditions from a wet start to the race, of course. As out on track, quite a lot of guys still going round. In fact, everyone's still going round out on track. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it here in TTL F2. I certainly am. Commentating here tonight in TTL F2, and it is Honey Badger who leads the way by 8.8 seconds. Siege is in 2nd, and Vic Mill in 3rd. Again, that gap beginning to extend out. Siege, however, not gaining on Honey Badger. Venom is in 4th position. Sean in 5th, with Matter in 6th, losing time. However, we'll focus on Maximus and Graham for the moment, as the Carling driver begins to close in on the Prima. And S. Graham looking for his first points of the season. Maximus looking to try and reclaim some of his form back from earlier on in the season. So Maximus actually comes across the line to set the new fastest lap of the race. As soon as I say that, Honey Badger just came across the line to set the new fastest lap of the race. And in fact, Honey Badger going a bit quicker than these guys. He's about to come and lap these guys. You can see Maze, and there is Honey Badger just in the background of shot there as well. A Siege sets a new fastest lap of the race with a 19.7. S. Graham goes miles out wide, almost towards the German border there. Maximus right on the back of S. Graham. It's 0.3 of a second now separating these two. And I think the Carling car will eventually get it done on the Prima, as the Prima runs wide and Charlie has retired somewhere out on track. I wonder where that was. Charlie has retired out of the session. We'll soon see where he has gone off out on track. There is no safety car, however, in TTL F2 because of the recent update. Maximus sliding out of turn 6, sorry, now through turn 7 and 8. Where is Charlie? I have a feeling he's actually lost it through the final couple of corners. Maximus with a much better exit, coming now down into the final 2 corners. He's side by side with S. Graham. Surely S. Graham is going to give way around the outside of the corner, and he has. Maximus is through down the inside. Good move that. Maximus is through, and he's into P8 out on track. S. Graham could not fight that one, and Scotsman having to give way on the Brit, as Maximus is now into P8. Honey Badger once again sets a new fastest lap of the race out on track with an 18.4. bettered by Siege with an 18-3, and Siege obviously running on fresher tyres. That's Graham not going to give this battle up without a fight. He's got a lunge very late. Oh, how on earth he broken for the corner. I thought inevitably there was going to be contact there. Both the cars actually now ghosting out on track, because that is Honey Badger just behind them out on track. So Maximus in P8, Escrim in P9. Honey Badger, of course, leading the race by 8.8 seconds. You can see now they ghost inside. That is not because they are losing connection from the lobby. It is because they are getting lapped by a faster car behind. Which is a good innovation, both of them getting out of the way, they have realised, and actually S. Graham trying to pick up a little speed behind Maximus. Now both of these can now battle once again. S. Graham just trying to gain there on Maximus, coming out of 7 and 8, but not quite, as Honey Badger will come on to start lap 16, out on track here in the feature race. Maximus then comes across the line to start lap 16. He's in P8, Escrim in P9. Closest battle out on track this is. Mays beginning to catch though. Mays with 1.9 seconds. Of course, he's gone flat out since Honey Badger has passed him to lap him. And he's beginning to catch the guys ahead. Mays not ruling himself out of the top 8. Charlie retiring from the session. Not sure what happened to him. Hopefully we get an explanation of that within the comment section or within one of the chats. Honey Badger though leading by 9.1 seconds from Siege in second. Vickmill is in third. Benham is in fourth. Sean in fifth. Matter sixth. With Conti seventh. Maximus in eighth. Then S. Graham in ninth and Mays in 10th position. Hopefully everyone, as I say, enjoying the stream so far. And hopefully everyone being... as I say, hopefully everyone enjoying on-track action here in TTL F2. I do appreciate somebody has already disliked the stream. If you if you dislike us, if you literally tune in for 5 seconds and then dislike us, then maybe you should be doing something better with your life. But there you go. Mays trying to catch on the back of S. Graham. Still cloudy out on track as a result of wet conditions earlier on. Honey Badger has set the new fastest lap of the race with a 16.3. Mays trying to close down now on S. Graham. It's 1.7 seconds out on track. S. Graham currently 9th and 10th. This is for the wooden spoon, as I like to call it here in TTL F2. Conti beginning to close up on Matter as well. Matter beginning to struggle, so we're right on board with the Arc 1 pre-drive and give you guys a little bit better of action to go around out on track with. Honey Badger, the leader, is just coming towards turn 4 on the right hand side of your screen if you're following the track map. Conti in the meantime coming around the final corner at turn 10. Matter beginning to get hunted down maybe by the Dutchman. The Brit and the Dutchman about to do battle once again. It's like Canada-esque between these two. It's 2.7 seconds at the minute. We shouldn't see the gap close down too much, I don't think, towards the end. But you never know. Conti, I think, could have the speed on the back of Matter. S. Graham just losing a little bit of time. Mays as well losing a bit of time. Siege, his teammate, is in the back, is on the back of him, as Honey Badger leads through towards the third last lap. Lap 18 here out on track. Of course, sprint race still yet to come. And Honey Badger leads the way by 9.8 seconds as Maximus is off. Maximus has gone off, and that is into the pit wall. Not sure. I think he's got caught on the outside of the curb there. He must have done. To end up in that position, he's probably just caught the outside of the curb, and Maximus, doing everything right, has gone from P8 down to P10 as a result of that. It looks like he's got caught on the curb. He's trying to fight the car through into the final corner, and he's ended up into the pit wall. Not really the greatest thing to do, but if Maximus has tried his best to try and recover the car, then there's not really much you can do about it. You're fighting, essentially, the driver fighting a losing battle out on track. Conti beginning to get closer though to Matter. 2.2 seconds separating the Campos driver and the Arc Grand Prix car. Of course, Arc Grand Prix coming into tonight as the championship leaders within the constructors. We are only halfway through the season as well, so it's going to get quite interesting, quite spicy, I think, for the constructors and indeed for the drivers championship as well. Honey currently running away with things out in front in this race and out in front of the drivers' standings. I think he's 27 points clear of Siege, I'm pretty sure, something like that anyways, as Honey Badger leads the way towards the final couple of laps. And in fact, he's just going on to the final, the penultimate lap now, so he's about 10.1 seconds ahead In the meantime, we will focus on this battle that is beginning to get closer between Mata and Conti. It's not the case of Conti getting quicker, it's actually the case of Mata slowing down. With him being on the same strategy as Conti, he is beginning to catch Conti now beginning to catch Mata. You can see he's really trying to prioritise the run through the corners. That's what you want to be doing in these F2 cars. You don't want to be oversteering out of the corners, because you will inevitably lose that back end and essentially lose all chance of trying to win here in TTL F2, or trying to do well in fact as well in TTL F2. Conti then crossing the line to start lap 19. The leader is coming round into the final couple of corners. He's through turn 6 now. Looking good, and he is improving. He's 900 top in the middle sector, so it's a personal best middle sector there for Honey Badger, who does lead the way by 10.6 seconds. And it's really been a race that he's taken by the scruff of the neck. He managed the conditions well. Siege, with his alternate strategy, coming in a few laps later than Honey Badger. It was 2 laps later than Honey Badger. Siege came in. Tried to get it working. Honey Badger sets a new fastest lap of the race with a 15.9 as he now starts the final lap of the race. May's getting a little bit closer now to S. Graham. It's now within a second as S. Graham just begins to slow up. He's got the DRS. Mays has got the DRS as well as they run on to lap 20. These guys are on lap 19. That is Siege just ahead of them out on track. But Mays trying to close in on S. Graham. This is the battle we'll focus on. Honey Badger, however, is coming down towards turn 4. There is a yellow flag in the final corner. That looks like it's Maximus that is round. Maximus is indeed round at the final corner as Mays now tries to close in on S. Graham. I don't think he's going to be close enough though, so we'll ride back on board then with the leader, Honey Badger, who is now coming through turn 6. It's starting to rain again out on track. Don't think it is, and that's my eyesight going. Honey Badger then through turn 8 once again, then up the hill towards turns 9 and 10. Honey Badger, of course, has dominated this race throughout, and it's going to be a real dominant win once again here in TTL F2. We'll cut back to the S. Graham and Mays battle in just a second, as Honey Badger will come across the line to win here in the feature race in Austria. Fantastic out on track. Mays trying to hunt on S. Graham. Could he scrap another point or two off S. Graham? He's getting closer to the line. It's not going to be good enough. He finishes a 10.5 behind. Siege in second. Vic Mill in third. Venom now coming across the line on the MP to finish in 4th. Conti has made a mistake on that lap. He's lost his front wing as well. I think he's gone off there through turn 3. So Sean will be coming around the final corner in P5 as he picks up a 3-second time penalty for track extension there at the final 2 corners. Sean happy with that though. He finishes in 5th. Mata will be coming across the line in 6th. Campos doing well. Mata's best result of the season, I do believe. So well done to him. Mata across the line in 6th. And Conti will be coming around the final couple of corners to finish here in 7th position as the Arc 1 pre-driver manages to get the car through the final corner. And that is it for the feature race. Of course, sprint race action still to come here in TTL F2. And who else but Honey Badger takes the win here in TTL F2 in the feature race. The podium celebrations kick off here for TTL F2 as we'll have a look at some of the drivers here out on... we'll have a look at the grid order once it comes up. But Honey Badger taking a very dominant win here in TTL F2. The Brit of Siege finishing in 2nd. And Vic Mill coming onto the podium to finish in 3rd position. I think that was a Polish flag on there. That's again to my eyesight going. It was Vic Mill who came across the line to finish in 3rd. Feature race then is done with, and Honey Badger has taken the win from Siege in 2nd, Vic Mill in 3rd with Venom in 4th. Not many penalties out on track, which is good to see. Sean in 5th. The Campos team 5th and 6th, Sean and Mata with Conti in 7th, that's Graham in 8th, Mays in 9th, Maximus in 10th, and Charlie coming across the line. Not finishing out on track, DNFing, and he doesn't pick up any points either. Unfortunate for Charlie, the wait still goes on for him to pick up his first points of the season here in TTL F2. As I say, sprint race still to come. I'm going to take a little rest from commentary and I'll be back in about 30 seconds. as we are back here for one-shot qualifying to begin here in the sprint race. Of course, you can see it is dry out on track. Fantastic. I can't believe it is dry in one-shot qualifying. Hopefully, we're not going to get a wet race like we did in the feature race. But of course, top 8 reversed here as we are about to get going for the formation lap. I do apologise, I think I did say one-shot qualifying. There is of course no one-shot qualifying in the sprint race. It comes to show I'm not on point here tonight within commentary. S. Graham then leads us off, picking up his first points of the season then in the feature race, picking up 8th position. He will start then on pole position, and you know, if you're not tuning in to the sprint race for the first time this season, or if you are tuning in, I should say, to the sprint race for the first time this season, then you are in for complete and utter treat. We should see plenty of overtaking, plenty of clean driving hopefully, and plenty of battles out on track. The sprint race always doesn't fail to provide us with any sort of action out on track. It should be great because it is soft compound of tyres all the way. Nobody will be making a pit stop unless they make any mistakes out on track and pick up any damage early on in the race. But as I say, top 8 reverse, so Honey Badger, who won last time out, starting P8. Siege, who was second, starting P7. And Vic Mill, who was third, starting P6. Have a look for some of the guys further down the field as well. I honestly think Maximus could do well here. He's in 10th, he's in the Carlin. Didn't have the greatest run of things in the feature race. I think the sprint race might just see the best come out of him. And Maximus, I think, might be an outside shot of a top 5 finish. However, my top 3... I'm going to go for Venom for the win, I'm going to go for Honey Badger for second, and I'm going to go for Siege for third. There you go. I'm sorry, Vic Mill. I'm sorry, I've disowned you on the formation lap here in the sprint race. But the final couple of cars are coming around the final 2 corners out on track. S. Graham will lead us on. It was a very quick formation lap actually for S. Graham. Of course, the tyre temps don't get affected if you are early onto the grid. They start off at the same temperature as you started the lap on. As the drivers now come up to the grid for the final time tonight. We've only been here twice, but still, the sprint race about to begin here in TTL F2. The 5 red lights are about to come on here in Austria. Long hold, very long hold, but it's lights out and away we go. S. Graham gets a very good start from the line. So did Venom, I think. Vic Mill trying to go up the inside. Venom getting a very good start, trying to find its way through. Could be a bit boxed in towards turn 1. There's a spin on the inside. S. Graham not really giving any room there. I think it was Conti that was ran. It's caused all sorts of carnage in the background. But let's focus on the action that is happening out on track. S. Graham leads by 4/10 of a second from Matter in second. Venom up to third with Sean in fourth. Siege in fifth as Matter tries to have a look on S. Graham down in towards turn 3 there, not pulling off. Vic Mill, however, has pulled off a move on Siege. He is through up to P5. Honey Badger caught up in that early sort of melee. So did Charlie, so did Maximus, which is unfortunate. Conti was just left short of room, I think, through turn 1. We'll, of course, have that investigated. The TTL F2 stewards will have a look at that here tonight. But Matter, all of the back of S. Graham, who picked up his first point scoring finish last time out. But Matter, is he going to try and send it through into turn 7? Very just hanging off the camber of the corner. Venom then on the back, and Venom right on the back. We could see 3 wide towards turn 9. This is impossible to pull off. Somebody's going to have to pull out. They're not. Matter, Venom, S. Graham forced massively wide, 3 wide through turn 9. I've never seen that before in any sort of the imagination, even in Formula 1. Matter and Venom have came out on top. S. Graham was the one that got caught out on the outside of the corner. Venom launched it down the inside on Matter into turn 1, and they've contacted. Both of them rejoin track. Matter rejoins track in front of Venom. Really not great driving out on track. The standards dropping here in the sprint race, if I've got to be honest. Vic Mill trying to go around the outside of Venom, just breaks into the back of him. See on board with S. Graham, who is struggling through the field. Honey Badger gets through around the outside of him. Venom and Matter then swap positions. It is Sean then who leads. Campos I've got one driver falling down the field slightly, one driver going up the field as Mata, late on the brakes, tries to go to the inside of turn 4. Vic will run around the outside though. Shuley is going to be ahead, coming onto the inside, now onto the line, coming through turn 6, and he gets the move done. So Vic Mills up to P3, Mata down to P4. Good driving there between both of them. Siege in 5th, Honey Badger in 6th, getting caught up in a few little niggly things out on track. Sean though will lead the way as we are about to start lap 3, which will mean DRS will be enabled. Conti down the back of the field, Maximus and Charlie fighting out further down the field along with Maze, as Sean leads the way by nearly a second out on track. Venom in 2nd, Vic Mill 3rd, Mata 4th, Siege in 5th, Honey Badger in 6th. I'm going to be honest, focus on these top 6 guys as Maximus is round once again at the final corner. That might be his night done. Sean then will lead us up the hill for the 3rd time out on the track, and he's 6 tenths clear of Venom. But Siege getting on the back of Mata now. Both of them having the DRS enabled. Not going to go for the move though. Siege being very conservative. Honey Badger will try and go to get tight into the apex there to try and get the move done. Charlie and Maze in the meantime. Charlie trying to go up the inside. There was the yellow flag in sector 1. The Maximus's car as he retired from the race. Honey Badger then trying to go all the way around the outside of Siege. This will be brave if he can pull it off. Honey Badger, Siege with camera of the corner beginning to favour Siege there. So Siege will hold on to P5 and Honey Badger's still in P6 of course. 3 teams fighting out for the constructors at this time. It is between Arc Grand Prix, BWT Arden and Dams out on track. So watch out for some of those guys out on track tonight, and you can see the MP Motorsport of VRT Venom right on the back of Sean. As to come through in towards lap 4, Venom has a bit of a slight slipstream, slight slide I should say at the final corner. Very difficult to find my words here tonight, I've got to be honest. Siege trying to go up the inside then of Mata. He's got the move done, I think, in the Dams. Mata is keeping it honest around the outside though, but Siege with the switch back. Here comes Honey Badger as well. We could see 3 wide, surely not. Up the hill here towards turn 3. This will be fantastic, and Honey Badger I think has already got them both done. He has. Honey Badger has already sailed it around the outside with superior speed down the straight. The championship leader takes 2 for 1 in the matter of strides, and Honey Badger is through and he's up to P4 as Sean is running the back of Venom out on lap 4 out on track. Venom leads from Sean in 2nd, Vic Will 3rd, Honey Badger 4th, now clear of a little bit of traffic with Siege and Mata now 5th and 6th. That's Graham in 7th, Mason 8th, Charlie potentially on for his first point score of the season, he's in 9th, and Conti after that lap 1 incident with S. Graham, of course, which will be investigated, he's down there in P10. Not really enjoying things out on track I think tonight for Conti, but of course there are still 5 rounds left after this one. And there's VRT Venom who leads the way. As we come on to lap 5, the Scotsman leads from the Brit in 2nd, with the Pole in 3rd. So 3 different nations represented by the drivers as Sean gets right up to the back end of Venom coming towards turn 1. Just loses a little bit of time. I think Venom will hold the gap then up the hill towards turn 3, and it is Venom who will lead the way. As we'll see Siege and Honey Badger going at it. 1st and 2nd from the feature race of course. Siege on the outside line, Honey Badger will be on the inside line. It's a take of who wants to break the latest, and it's Honey Badger who breaks the latest and gets the move done. Down the inside he goes. Siege still keeping it honest though. He's out of the slipstream though. Honey Badger with the DRS opened up and he's gone back through. So Honey Badger then into 4th position. And I think, I've just noticed actually on his car, I think he might be missing a right side end plate actually, Honey Badger. Let's ride on board with him. I've spotted, I think, yeah, he's lost his right side end plate completely. So Honey Badger has lost his right side end plate. Siege has still got both of his end plates, as does ILRT Mata, and that's why Honey Badger is not gaining on Vicville. We've only just noticed that now. That's probably been picked up earlier on in the race, maybe lap 1, maybe lap 2, I'm thinking. VRT Venom leads the way onto lap 6. We slowly approach the halfway stage here in the sprint race, but once again Siege trying to get closer to Honey Badger out on track, and Siege half and a half look down towards turn 1, not going to pull off the move though, as Honey Badger will keep him honest. This is the battle we want to see though, between Honey Badger and Siege once again. Siege right on the toe, he'll go up around the outside. Can he try and go switchback down into turn 3? We'll have a look and find out. Honey Badger though positions his car to perfection and holds off on the move as Esgrim and Maze fight for position. Maze is through. I think Charlie might be through here on Esgrim as well, who gets a superior turn of pace out of turn 3 there. Honey Badger down the inside of Siege, trying to keep him honest, and Honey Badger will hold on to the position. Slight lag back slightly, and Honey Badger, Siege on the inside line. This is going to be very, very close between them both. Oh my god, Honey Badger somehow held that around the outside. Fantastic driving between the Dutchman and the Brit. How on earth Honey Badger is holding on to that car? Siege is probably just wanting to go quicker. The sun beginning to come out here in Austria as we approach the halfway stage, and we are about to go on to lap 7 any second now, because Venom will lead the way by a second, and it looks like the top 3 beginning to stabilise themselves for the top 3 positions. Venom, Sean and Vic will lead the way. Honey Badger in 4th, Siege in 5th, Matter in 6th. Maze now up to 7th, as Graham could lose a position here to Charlie. Maze having no DRS down the straight, of course. He's nowhere near ILRT Matter, 5.6 seconds off. Charlie then right on the back of S. Graham. S. Graham just getting a slight run, a slight slide out of the corner at turn 1. Beginning to like slightly running up the hill, but Charlie could try and go for a late move here. I wonder. Charlie, he's going to have to force it around the outside of him in the Trident, and I think he might get the move done. He's going to get the traction off the corner. Maze pulls away in front, and Charlie with the traction off the corner at turn 3 at the hairpin. He's got the move done on S. Graham running down the straight. S. Graham will try and keep this honest. He doesn't want to try and lunge it down the inside, though he tries to. He picks up a 3-second time penalty for his pains. He shouldn't have really tried to do that. Charlie hangs on then in the Trident, and he's up to P8. S. Graham not giving up without a fight, which is good to see. Keep calm and carry on is my motto though. VRT Venom will lead the way onto lap 8 with Sean in 2nd, Vic Will in 3rd. Honey Badger, remember, with that right side M-plate damage is in 4th, but Siege now looking closer than ever, I think, out on track. And ILRT Matter trying to get involved in this as well. He's only 9/10 off the pace. You can see the guys running up ahead out on track. Honey Badger looks like he's good down the straight, and that's what is the difference between Honey Badger and Siege at this stage. Vic Mill beginning to get closer to Sean, and in fact Sean has lost the position as Vic Mill is lunging it down the inside in the BWT Arden. He gets the car stopped. That might be the move of the race so far. That's the move of the day for me. Vic Mill late on the brakes, Danny Rick-esque up the inside into the hairpin at turn 3. What a move! Vic Mill should be proud of that, and he's up to P2. Great move, and Siege has gone through, I think, on Honey Badger. Honey Badger still trying to keep it around the outside. Siege on the inside line. It's still side by side by these two. It's almost as if they're glued together. They don't want to get rid of each other, these two. Honey Badger, Siege, he's going to have to go and try switch it back down the inside. The gap now appears. He tries to force the car through. He tries to close the gap there, Honey Badger, and he has done that successfully. Siege is probably thinking, come on man, just get a move on. I've been held up. Siege has honestly been held up here 3 seconds in 3 laps. That is, I'm going to be honest and say that 3 seconds in 3 laps he's been held up, and he's still losing more time, as is ILRT Matter. In fact, Conti trying to go for the inside down into the final corner. Then the Aquan pre-driver runs wide. Prima dropping down the order. S. Graham, Vic Mill and Sean take 2. Sean getting closer this time to Vic Mill. The sun is well and truly out here in Austria, and it's providing some great action out on track. Siege and Honey Badger once again. Round 3 for these two. Honey Badger and Siege. And Honey Badger holds on to the gap, but now Siege with a much better exit. He's going to try and get the toe running down the straight. These cars quite slow to pick up the toe, quite slow to pick up the slipstream as well. Honey Badger will position the car in the middle of the track. Siege not going to get through here, I don't think. He could switch it back on the inside. He gets the one out of the corner. This could be Siege's to lose now. Honey Badger on the inside line is under sustained pressure from Siege. Siege will try and switch it back down the inside. Honey Badger does not want to let that apex go, and he hangs on to 4th position. ILRT Matters keeping these guys honest as well, and behind S. Graham and Conti are having a bit of a battle for 9th and 10th out on track. The Scotsman and the Dutchman, 9th and 10th, the Prima and the Aquan pre-drivers. Siege, though, still trying to somehow fight his way through on Honey Badger. VRT Venom leads the way. 3.2 seconds. Vic Miller's gone up the road from Sean. He's now in second, 1.7 seconds, as Conti has now possibly got the move done. Conti around the outside, he's got the move done through the final corner. Done off track slightly. Charlie and Mays going side by side, running down the straight. Or near side by side. Siege and Honey Badger take 4. Siege trying to get the move done again around the outside. Honey Badger trying to keep it closed. And in fact, Siege forced onto the curb slightly, but it's just because of the position of the car, I think, there by Honey Badger. Charlie has got through on Maze. Beautiful move that around the outside. We just caught the end of that. Charlie right around the outside, inches apart. That's what we like to see. Good move there by Charlie. And the Trident driver is up into 7th position out on track. VRT Venom, though, the Scotsman, dominating out in front. Vic Mill in second, Sean in third. I think the top 3 probably not going to lose that top 3 status. Honey Badger losing time still to Sean. Siege and Matter also losing time as a result of Honey Badger's front wing damage, right side end plate. But Venom leads the way. We'll go back on board though with Siege and Honey Badger. Honey Badger looks like he's beginning to find a little bit more pace now. Siege, maybe in desperation, just trying to go a little bit quicker through the corners, but he's losing time, and that is costly for Siege. The Brit on the back of the Dutchman for 4th and 5th. Remember, 1st and 2nd these two were last time out in the feature race, literally about 20 minutes ago. Siege right on the back of Honey Badger. It's 5/10 of a second. I don't think he's close enough this time. He's definitely not going to be close enough this time. Siege, I think, should just try and lay all of his cards on the table, I think. He is desperate to get through. Honey Badger, though, is beginning to come back into this. Slowly, the tyres are beginning to gel, and slowly, he's beginning to gain on Sean as well. So Honey Badger not going to be within the top 3 fight, but he's certainly beginning to bring that gap down slightly. As Venom still holds the lead at 4.2 seconds. From Vic Mill in second, Sean in third, Honey Badger in 4th, Siege in 5th, Matter 6th. Charlie and Maze still having a bit of a squabble for 7th. Maze not giving up that without a fight in the Dams. And Dams actually looking for a much better sprint race here than in the feature race. Of course, they will be picking up a double point scoring finish. It was Charlie, of course. It was Maximus, of course, who DNF'd out of the 2nd race here in the sprint race. So the Carlin team not picking up any points. I think it was Charlie in the 1st race that didn't pick up any points, which was a shame. S. Graham will be picking up a double point scoring finish, though, after not picking up any points this season. Siege then, as we go on to the 3rd last lap. It's lap 12 out of 14 here in Austria, and Venom leads the way by 4.6 seconds from Vic Mill in 2nd, Sean in 3rd, Honey Badger in 4th, Siege in 5th, Matter in 6th. Siege again trying to get the move done on Honey Badger, but again he's just not close enough. He's just not close enough indeed, and now Honey Badger again throws the power down, and he's just trying to pull out that gap even further. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2. S. Graham retired from the session. I did say he was going for a point scoring finish. He is out of the race, and that is a bit of a commentator's curse moment, I'm afraid, there. That is why you don't really trust me in some of the stuff. So he's crashed that, I think, coming up the hill towards turn 3. I'm under the impression. All through the kink of turn 2. That might be where he is, we've had the yellow flags, but we'll try and come on board with that in the meantime. Maze right on the back of Charlie, though, for 7th and 8th position. Charlie on for his 1st point scoring finish of this season. Maze trying to desperately try and grab an extra 2 points off him. Dam's cars are in 2 battles. Maze in 1 battle behind Charlie, Siege behind Honey Badger, and this time Siege looking a little bit closer. He's got to try and run in that toe as much as possible. He's going to try, or I thought he was going to try and switch it back to the inside. Honey Badger will take the defensive line. He runs slightly deep into the corner, but that's a lovely exit there from Honey Badger. Siege not getting the power down. That again is costly, and Honey Badger pulling away out on track. Charlie and Maze still battling out for 7th and 8th. It looks like Charlie's just getting the floor down, and yeah, he's pulled away from Maze quite comfortably there out on track. Maze, of course, in the DRS trying to close. Conti not out of that either. Now, what's 5.5 seconds that gap? So that gap has really reduced over the last couple of laps or so. as Venom will lead the way onto the final lap. He's coming now through turns 9 and 10. In the meantime, we'll ride on board with Honey Badger and Siege. Siege just trying to desperately fight his way through on Honey Badger. It's been a great battle. They've been literally locked together as one throughout this race, these two. And although they haven't made the run up through the field, Matter picked up a 3-second time penalty as what they would have wanted. Honey Badger will be on top of the championship no matter what happens here tonight. Honey Badger then through turn 1 once again. Siege right on the back of them. We are on the final lap, and I will put on board with Venom towards the end of the lap here, but we'll focus now on Honey Badger and Siege though in the meantime. Honey Badger actually not going to cover off that inside line. Siege, I think, could have actually forced that. A little bit of a drift there from Honey Badger. This is Siege's opportunity. If he wants to lie it all the line, he's got to put it on the line now, because he wants to try and get past the Dan's car against the Alcon Free, but I don't think he's got the closing speed, and Siege is going to have to force Honey Badger into some sort of mistake. Bit of a lock up there from the Alcon Free driver. The championship leader against the championship second. Venom is coming around the final couple of corners, and again Siege is not finding his way through. Honey Badger literally gluing that car to the circuit. We'll try and ride on board with that. We'll come back on board there in just the meantime, because VRT Venom is coming around the final corner. The Scotsman is going to pick up his second win here in TTL F2, and a dominant win at that. He takes the win. Siege, though, still on the back of Honey Badger. Vic Mill across the line in second. Sean will be coming across the line in third. They fill out the podiums, but fourth and fifth is going to go hammer and tongs to the line. Honey Badger and Siege. It's Siege who jumps Honey Badger on penalties. ILRT Matter comes across the line in sixth. And Charlie and Mays still battling out towards the end of the race here. Charlie across the line in 7th, Mays across the line in 8th, and Conti across the line in 9th. They didn't pick up any penalties whatsoever. So on penalties, Siege jumps Honey Badger. It's not enough to jump him in the championship, because Honey Badger will lead coming into next week for round 6 of the championship. But what action out on track. VRT has won out on track here in the sprint race, and the Scotsman dominating out in front. It got a bit hairy in the opening couple of laps with S. Graham and Conti, of course, making a little bit of contact. Of course, we will investigate that as it comes about. But fantastic action out on track. Next week, of course, we go to Germany. So we literally hop over the border almost from Austria into Germany at the Hockenheim Ring next week. But it is Venom who takes the win here out on track. Fantastic win. And we'll see the full running order. Venom takes the win from Vic Mill in second. Sean in third. They are your top 3. Siege in 4th with Honey Badger in 5th. Matter in 6th. Charlie in 7th. Mays in 8th. Conti in 9th. S. Graham in 10th. Not picking up any points. Neither did Maximus. Of course, the top 10 do pick up point scores in the sprint race. S. Graham and Maximus not picking up any points because they didn't finish out on track. As a result of the weekend, Honey Badger takes the most points out on track. Venom was 2nd, Vic Mill 3rd, Siege 4th, Sean 5th, Matter in 6th. That's just quite interesting to look down, as that is it for tonight here in TTL F2. And what a night of action it has been in Austria. Of course, next week we do go to Germany, and what a race we have in prospect there, or what 2 races we have in prospect there for the feature and the sprint race. But until then, I have been James Head. Thank you very much for watching. No esports racing tomorrow, I'm afraid to say. No esports racing. I know people are probably thinking, where's the next mini league? We'll hopefully confirm that within the next couple of weeks. Thursday, TTL F1, it will be myself and Kieran McGinley taking you through that one, and TTSL, it'll just be me on Friday, as Malc has had to step down from TTSL commentaries due to, I think, just purely him becoming a little bit too busy in his personal life, which we totally understand. But until Thursday for TTL F1, I've been James Head. Thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.